Hi, good morning everyone. How are you all? Okay, now today I have a new topic. So this is the ninth class, chapter 1, politics. What is democracy and why we need a democracy? It is very important topic. Now let's we start our topic. Thank you. So what is democracy and why we need a democracy? First of all, we know about the meaning of the title. What is democracy? Here, democracy means all people are involving to take the decision. Either it is right or wrong. Here they have two types of categories, majority and minority. We are giving the priority of the majority people. So, why we need a democracy? Why we need a democracy? For example, we focused on that 200 years, approximately 200 years in our India ruled the Britishers. At that time, we are facing so many problems in our Indians. Those days, the society thinkers, they decided in our country we have the independent, in our country we have the republic, and in our country we have the particular rules and regulations. We making an Indian constitution. So these are all very important element. So how to rule the government? Democracy is the best form to rule the government. That's why our needs, our basic needs and our satisfactions the government to fulfill. Always government is focused on that below poverty people and poverty people and also middle class people. So now we see that's why we need the democracy. Now here we can observing the point is the democracy. Actually, the democracy. This word diverges from Greek word. We call the Greek word demokratia. And here democracy, demos means people and krasi means ruling. People ruling system or people rule. Democracy means here we know a people ruling system we call a democracy. Actually, the definition of the democracy, democracy is a form of the government. Here, people rule their rulers. People elected their rulers. And Abraham Lincoln also said one definition: by the people, for the people, and do the people. So, always we focused on that. These quotations. The voting age. For example, people they voting their rulers. They have the age limit. The 1989 our Indian Constitution changed the voting. The voting age is reduced 21 to 18 years. Now 18 years. Who have the 18 years old? Those are male or female. They both are to eligible write the vote. One person, one vote, and one value. Here we focus on that democracy. Democracy, there are also types: democratic government and non-democratic government. Which countries is followed that democratic governments and which countries is not followed that non-democratic governments. Here democratic government means they are having the written constitution. Here we see the India. India is the biggest democratic country. And France and Switzerland. These three countries, so many countries are there, more than. So democratic countries means they have followed the particular plan of action, rules and regulations. Here they are given the priority of the people only. So this type of government is answerable to the public. And here we see non-democratic government. What is the meaning of non-democratic government? Here they do not have any rights to the citizens. They do not have any rights of the people. Here only they have the rights, rules, only king and queen or dictatorship, monarchy, this type of government rules there. So in our country, we see in the world, few of the countries only followed the non-democratic governments. We see the Myanmar. Myanmar, they have the ruling and authority is only army. They rule dictatorship only. And we see the Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia Prime Minister name is Salman. So there are also monarchy system. And 1990 before Chile, we call there is a non-democratic country. At present Chile it is a democratic country. Can be observing the variations. So here we find out 1.1 topic is tells about that. The ma'am is Linda ma'am and another student name is Mary. So the both are conversations here. Mary asked the ma'am, ma'am, what is democracy? Why we call the definitions of this? At that time, ma'am tells about, for example, in our daily life we using so many things and materials. We can't using the definitions. For example, this is a marker. What is the use of marker? To write the board. And they have the worth and the value and this is utilized. That's why we call this a resource. Here we observing only one side, but not the not we need the definition. Here we know about the usage of the broadly usage of the word. For example, democracy. We need not definition. We have the broadly understood the word meaning. That's why. For example, the olden days we see the computer we are using a heavy problems and calculations. That purpose only olden days we see. He is the computer father of the computer, the Charles Babbage. At present we are using the computer, the various types, the multi-purposes like seeing the videos, watching movies, audios and designing. So whatever it may be. At the time also we see the computer. Nowadays we see the computers here changing. Technology is developing and changing the variations. As well as in our democracy, the olden days they have some formula and today they have same formula. Here the ruling types is changes. They attract the people and there come the majority party. After that they not followed a proper way. They give the manifesto but they not properly followed the manifesto. These are all the happenings are there in our democratic country. So children, can you observing this type of situations in our country, you need to tell about the content of the story. Thank you.